Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we'll be world-leading scientists racing our fellow researchers to take control of the first self-aware artificial intelligence. But you won't just be competing with others, you'll also be facing off against a fledgling, rapidly evolving AI who also seeks to command the grid. The Grid AI Awakens is for 2 to 4 players, takes about an hour to play, is for ages 14 and up, and is published by Real Grid Games. It's on Kickstarter right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works, then I'll see you on the other side. This is a Kickstarter preview, and the art and components you're looking at on the screen right now are actually finalized. This is what the final project is going to look like. However, for the rest of this video, when I'm actually showing you how the game works, those are going to be prototype components. So you're going to want to check the Kickstarter page that's linked in the description of this video to see all the other finalized art and components. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to be randomly assigned one of these 4 cool scientists. They're going to get the card and the corresponding firewall tokens. Now each of these scientists will get a one-time special ability throughout the game as well. Here's the main setup of the game. There are 12 tech pillars, and these are randomly placed each game, but there'll always be 3 columns and 4 rows of those. Each of these will have a corresponding tech token to go with the type of tech pillar it is. And if you look at these, the similar colors have the same type of tech pillar, like deep reinforcement learning, and they look like this, or knowledge-based systems, and cognitive science, and robotics. And the last step I haven't shown you yet is emotion creation. Now, over the course of the game, the players are going to be trying to research these different pillars and get these different tech tokens. And which ones you research is important because everyone's going to get one secret objective card at the beginning of the game, and they have 2 missions on them. For example, this one says get both cognitive science tokens, or both emotion creation. Or you might get one that says both robotics tech tokens, or all of the tech tokens in the second row. Or you might get one that says collect 4 victory point tokens, or get 3 tech tokens in column C. However, over the course of the game, an AI is going to attack, and if it attacks an area where somebody has already researched, it has attacked this. And if at any point in time, 8 of the different pillars have been attacked, then the AI wins and none of the players will win. So let's say this is us. We have this as our scientist, we have our secret mission card, this would normally be face down, and then we have 3 development cards to start the game. These are cards that you're going to be tactically playing throughout the game. These would also just be in our hands. People would not be able to see them. Turns go clockwise in this game. On your turn, you have 2 actions you can take. Now you have 3 options of the different actions that you can spend on. You can draw a new card from the development deck, which would give you another one of these cards. That's one option. Or you could play one of the cards in your hand for influence, which means the green box is here. So for example, for my first action, I could play this card, I would discard it, and I would do what this says, which is we would randomly discard 2 cards from another player. That would be one of my 2 actions on the turn. So other than drawing a card or playing a card for the green influence, you can also try to research, and there's many different types of researches that you can do. First, I'm going to show you the basic research. The cost is 4 brain power. Now this card says it's 1 brain power or it's 2 brain power for deep reinforcement learning research. While over here, I have for my secret goal is to get both deep reinforcement learning tokens, so I'm going to try to use this. So I'll use 2 brain power for this and 2 for that. We have the 4 needed to do a basic research. So I would go ahead and spend these cards and discard them, and then we'd do the research. Now at this point, no one else has researched anything, and I don't have any goals for columns or rows or anything, so I could just take either of them at this point. I would take this token, just like that, and I would put it in front of me. And with this tech token in front of me, that shows all the other players I'm the one that has researched that pillar. Now during research, after you've paid for it and you've updated the grid, some cards may trigger. There might be some development cards that you played for brain power that has an and on it. And at that point, you would then do those. Like in this case, if this was the card I had used for one of the brain powers, I could then draw a development card. So those certain things happen as well. But then the player draws 1 contingency card. Now this contingency deck has 3 different types of cards that can come out. It can be an event which triggers immediately. Like each player passes 1 development card containing brain power to any other player. Or it might be 3 AI attacks. Now we're going to show you how the AI attack works in just a moment, but remember, as I showed you at the beginning, if AI ever controls 8 of the pillars, then the AI wins and none of the scientists win. You could get a power-up card, which you can use when it says. So for example, you could play this to get one extra action during your turn. You play it when you want to use it. Or when drawing a development card, choose one of the top 2 cards and you discard the other one. There's also trait cards that you place face up, and they're sort of abilities you can use throughout the game. Like before, during research, you can secretly look at the top AI attack card to see where the AI is going to be attacking, or things like, hey, you can prevent an AI attack during your research. So different things can come out of this contingency deck, but you get one of those cards when you do any type of research. So in summary, on your turn, you're taking 2 actions. You can either draw a development card, you can play a development card for influence, or you can research, but you can only research once on your turn. Then it would go to the next player's turn clockwise. Now I've already shown you the basic research. I'm now going to show you the firewall research. And in this case, I've already gotten this tech token because I just basic researched that in a previous turn. So I could spend 3 more brain power to protect that pillar. So in this case, I could place my firewall token here, and I'll take a victory point token from the supply and place it on here. This is sort of defense against the AI attacking it because it's firewall. Now I had to have had this from a basic research already in order to do that. Now the basic cost 4 and putting the firewall on cost 3. However, if I didn't even have this token, instead of doing this in 2 steps like I just mentioned, you can do both of them in 1 step. It's called advanced research, where you pay 6. So instead of paying 7 research over 2 different turns to get this, you essentially could spend 6 to do it. And you might be taking some time to build up that brain power, and somebody else might take it before you want, and that's the trade-off there. Now I've already shown you a few ways to research, and I've shown you some ways that the AI can be triggered to attack. When an attack gets triggered, for each trigger you're going to flip up the top card of this deck, which was randomly shuffled at the beginning of the game. And this shows you a location on the grid. So we have A1. Now if there's still a tech token there, it means it has not been researched yet, and so this has failed. However, let's say it looked like this, and someone had already researched that because the tech token is gone. Well, the AI has now attacked this, and it is on there like this. We'll talk about some of these ramifications later. But let's also say that B3, this is the one I just put the firewall on. Now when a firewall gets attacked, it actually blocks this. However, the firewall token comes off, but so does the victory point token. So it acts as sort of a defense for an AI attack because now I have a victory point token, which is worth 1 point at the end. My firewall came back, but I still have the research token. But if it gets attacked again later, and it's just like this, then the AI will take it over. So how does the AI hit the same place more than once? Well, there's a card in here that says shuffle and trigger 1 AI. You'd shuffle the discard with this pile and you would trigger another attack. So how do we get rid of the AI attack here? Well, there's a couple ways to do this. Number 1, the player that researched this and has the token from here, on their turn they can do an AI suppression research. To do this, they're going to spend 3 brain power, and they're simply going to remove this from here. So now they still have the tech token from here, but now it's not under AI control. However, an opponent that isn't the one that researched this can pay 4 brain power to do an AI suppression research to not only to remove this, but also take the token from the player that had researched it previously and put it in front of themselves. So the suppression research gives you multiple tactical options, like allowing you to take back control over your own pillar by removing the AI control, or it can prevent other players to overtake your pillar, and you can overtake other players' pillars, which adds to your end scores, possibly your secret mission, and obstructs another player. Now the last type of research you can perform is called grid manipulation research. And keep in mind you can only perform 1 type of research per turn. It costs 4 brain power, and this lets you swap any 2 pillars, with the only exception being you can't swap an unresearched pillar with one that's under AI control. So in this case, we'll swap this research pillar with this one that is under AI control. Notice the AI control stays in the original location. However, you can also do a grid manipulation research with a specific pillar that has a firewall on it. So this would always stays in the spot that it was in, and then these 2 would swap, but this has a firewall on it and it gets activated. So this player will get their token back and their 1 point as shown earlier. And since the firewall was activated, this AI attack at A2 would then be discarded, making it no longer under AI control. So the grid manipulation research gives you multiple tactical options, like allowing you to move pillars so that they're aligned to your secret mission, or swapping your pillar that is under AI control with a pillar from another player, and then you can do the AI suppression research in the following turn to overtake another player's pillar, and you can even trigger your own firewall if you'd want an additional victory point token. Players will continue taking turns in clockwise order till one of two things happens. Either the AI controls 8 of the pillars, in this case it controls 7, so if it got one more, the game would end and the AI would win, none of the scientists would. Or if all 12 of the pillars have been researched, then it ends at the end of that turn. Keeping in mind, you still have to get a contingency card which might cause an AI attack, and that would resolve as well. Then you do some final scoring. You look at your different tech tokens, and each of these tech tokens are going to be worth 3 points, unless that pillar is under AI control, then they're only going to be worth 1 point. You're also going to get a point for each of the victory point token counters you have. Then we look at your secret goal, and only pillars that are not under AI control can go towards these missions. We look, and I have both deep reinforcement learning tech tokens. I have those, but let's say I did not get all of the first row tech tokens. In a 3 or 4 player game, if you get one of these done, it's 3 points. If you get both of them done, it's 7 points. In a 2 player game, you only get points if you score both of these, and then it's 5 points if you get both of them done. Whoever has the most is the winner. And if it's tied, the one who has the most points combined from your tech tokens and your victory points tokens is the winner. Well, there you have the grid AI Awakens, and as I've shown in the overview, what makes this game stand out is that you're not just competing with other players, but also against the AI. This causes interesting interactions with the other players, and even causes you to work together at certain parts of the game to ensure that AI doesn't win all by itself. But you're also trying to cause the AI to take over opponents' pillars so that you can then take them over from the AI. So it's an interesting balance that must be found. Now, if you'd like to see all the final artwork and components and all the different pledge levels available, you can click the link below me in the description of this video. It will take you right to the Kickstarter project page, and I'm sure the fine folks at Real Green Games would love your support.